Hello and welcome. My name's Super Saiyan and this is your weekly Saturday pre-order video. You know the score by now. I'll start off with the pre-orders from yesterday on Friday. Forge World, they have the pre-orders on Friday and Games Workshop have pre-orders on Saturday. So we're on Forge World here and you can see here March for Krieg is advertised. I think these are pre-existing models. I don't think these are all new releases, but they put them as new releases. Maybe they were out of stock, maybe the molds weren't good anymore, maybe there were some issues with them, with the sculpts themselves. So whatever the reason, they've now put these up for pre-order. We'll start off with all the artillery. Now they are quite pricey, I have to say. Whether the cost is sort of justified with the number of miniatures you get and the detail, that's up to you to decide. If you've got a Death Korps Krieg army, then it's really going to be, whether it's going to be worth it for you. I don't really have any Imperial Guard as such, or Astra Militarum as they like to call it, so I can't really say. But you've got these. This is the Medusa carriage battery. So you get 3 Medusa cannons with what looks to be 5 crew each. So you're getting 15 models and then you're getting the 3 big Medusa carriage batteries, and it looks like they've got lots of detail. They're on these big wheels, very sort of World War One-esque, I like to say, of that kind of era with these tracks and things. Then we've got the Earthshaker carriage battery, probably my personal favourite out of all these. These guns are huge. If we have a look at these, again with a 5-man crew, you've got your gunners and your loaders and your spotters and things like that. So that's the Earthshaker carriage battery. You've got your heavy mortar battery. Comes with these heavy mortars. These only have 3 crew each, but they're £105 for the 3. And then you have the quad launchers, or heavy quad launchers, for the same price as the heavy mortars, again with a crew of 3. And then we've got some Outriders, £230 for your 16 horses, with obviously the soldiers themselves, with what looks to be like spears. They've got power swords, chain swords, las guns, plasma pistols, las pistols, you name it. They look very well detailed, and I envy anyone who gets one of these with all these horses. I mean, very World War One-esque, brilliant. They've got these brass rods. Now, I don't know whether they come with a set of brass rods, each of which features a brass lance. So I don't know whether this is a new thing that they're introducing sort of brass into their models, but yeah, they come with these brass lances. So there you go. Then you've got a Death Korps Krieg Quartermaster and Retinue, £32 for your 5 models. Looks like you get 3 servitors, Orin carrying the uniform of a fallen guardsman, which I think is that one. Lugging the enormous list of Quartermaster's duties, a medical servitor, which I think is that one, and then an additional injured guardsman. I think that would look good on a board though, I think. So yeah, £32 for those models for the Quartermaster. And then finally, I put all of these pictures on my Instagram. If you haven't already, every video now I'm sort of reminding people that I do have an Instagram. It's just my YouTube username. It's just super_Saiyan with the 3s instead of the E's. And I put pictures of all the new releases and things pretty much instantly as soon as I sort of get wind of them. So yeah, I put a picture of this as well, which is the infantry squad at ease, so they're not firing or in an attacking stance or anything like that. There's just 10 of them just milling about. £43. They look fantastically detailed. Yeah, very sort of World War One, especially with the gas mask and things, and the shovel. Yeah, brilliant. So I mean, yeah, if you want a sort of a World War One kind of themed army, Imperial Guard army, these are the guys to go for. Excellent. And like all Warhammer and 40k and things like that, the models will just last a lifetime, and you know, you can pass them on and all the rest of it. So as a collector's point of view, and getting sort of this kind of themed army, although it will cost you a pretty penny, it would be a very nice collection to have. Okay, so that's all the Forge World releases. Let's hop on over to Games Workshop. Now, we've got 4 new sort of pre-orders for Death Guard. Let's have a look. So the pre-orders we've got here. We've got this week's pre-order, £75 for all 4 of the pre-orders. What you're looking at there is 10 Death Guard for £75, which is astronomical in my opinion, but there we go. You got the 7 Plague Marines. I understand why they've got 7 in the box set, but for £30, especially when Space Marines, they're what, £25 for 10. Although these are quite big Space Marines, to be fair. They are bigger than your standard Space Marines, bigger than your Mark III iron armor. They're not quite as tall as Primaris, but they're certainly thicker. So you get 7 in the set there instead of the 10. So we'll have a look at those first of all. They look pretty neat. I like this sort of icon bearer kind of thing, and I like the fact that it's got the plague spewer, and he's got this axe with some kind of mace thing, and then he's got the flail of corruption and another plague spewer. I think it is going to be 3 sprues, looking at it. 1, 2, 3. So not too bad for your £30 for bearing in mind, and they look like they are going to be 3 different sprues as well. Whereas your Primaris Space Marines, they come with 4, but it's just 2 sprues that are replicated. So sprue wise, I'd say you're probably getting a better deal with these. Then you've got the Champion with this plague weapon, plague dagger, and a flail of corruption, and then you've got a Blight launcher. Very lovely looking models. I'm just hoping there's a lot of options in there to mix and match the weapons, and they're not sort of fixed. But yeah, check back to the channel this time next week and you'll see an unboxing of them. So that's those. We have this Biologist Putrefier, which has exactly the same stat line as, you know, you like your Plague Surgeon and your Tallyman, things like that. He's an elite choice, separate elite choice, £15. It looks very decent. It does definitely look like a fly type bug kind of creature with these 2. I don't know whether they purposely made these 2 racks look like wings, but to me that sort of looks like he's going for that look. And then you've got this plague weapon with all this goop. I mean, you know, you can put your Elysian camo and then your Nurgle's rock technical paint. You can put all that on this as well, so that would be great. So yeah, he looks like a decent model. One sprue again, monopose, but £15, and it's an optional elite choice. So then you get to a bit of controversy with the Icon Bearer and the Plague Champion. In my opinion, there's just no response for having them not in the main box set. But then again, if the main Plague Marine set has 3 different sprues, I can sort of understand that. 4 sprues for the £30. I think if they were to release the 10 Plague Marines for £35, I think people would be in a little bit of an uproar, possibly. But either way, you've got the Icon Bearer and the Plague Champion, which normally come in the squad. So the Icon Bearer, £15 there. Looks pretty decent. I do like this icon, and the fact that it's got the his sort of helmet almost on there. And it's a single sprue miniature monopose. So yeah, an okay looking model. And then the main star of the show, this Plague Champion. He's got this Nurgling, like a parrot almost, nestling on his top left. How many right-fisted Plague champions are we going to see in this release? I don't honestly know. I know that there is there one in the main set? I don't know. Possibly there is, but we'll just focus on this guy. There is one in the Dark Imperium set, I know that much. And there is one in the easy to build set, so that's already 3 we're looking at. But the main star of the show is this little Nurgling, who's optional. You don't need to put him on this base, you can put him on anybody's base, but I think that is the star of the show, and that's worth the entry fee alone, I think. And the bolt gun looks pretty decent with this drum magazine as well. Oh, and you've got an optional sort of helmet as well for him, which I probably would do because he looks a little bit Slaneshy, like that. So yeah, that's £15 too. What else have we got? Well, the only sort of new things that popped out in my mind was this Black Library Weekender ticket, which is £75. Let's just have a little look at that. It's for 2 days, so it covers both days. You're probably going to need to book the hotel if you don't live close to Nottingham. Probably going to have to book a room there, but you have a chance to be amongst the first to get the special edition of Gaunt's Ghost, the War Master. Also, there's going to be some new books like Old Earth and The Last Hunt and so on. Also, you can meet the authors, all of them: Guy, Dan, Aaron, Nick, David, another David, Chris, Justin, Robin, James, Chris, John French, Phil Kelly, Andy Clark, no Graham McNeil, but and then you get free with your ticket. Thought that was a knife then. Free with your ticket, you get a very nice bookmark and a little bag and a few badges, and that looks like a book, but it's probably like an itinerary kind of thing. So yeah, it looks like you get some nice swag and the ability to buy some good books, and also you get to meet the authors of some very, very decent books, and you get all their autographs and things. So if you're into the books as much as the models, this is the place to go. So that looks to be new. Also, I don't think it's new, but they've bundled the Baneblade with the Baneblade novel and the Shadow Sword and the novel together now, so you can pre-order that. But that's it. All of the other things are just new releases for this weekend, such as Rotbone and the Voted Bloat Drone and so on. So, and the Moonbase Clasis. So other than that, just a small little pre-order selection of releases. It seems to be there's more pre-orders for Forge World this week than there is for Games Workshop. Still no mention or sight of the little spider type tank, the Myphitic Blight Hauler. Still no sight of that little tank, which is going to be my favourite model out of all this Death Guard range. I'm hoping that will be up for pre-order. I can't see why they've held it back. It would have been nice to have that along with these. You know, these are only 4 sort of pre-orders, and I would hazard a guess that most people will either go for the Champion or the Boxer Plague Marines this week, and they may get the other 2 things another time. But still, another week to wait for the Blight Hauler. Hopefully he'll appear next weekend. And that's pretty much it for this video. What are you still looking forward to in all the releases? Are you going to that Black Library Weekender? Put all your comments and things down below. Thank you ever so much for joining me today. Thank you for watching. The Emperor Protects.